And so the step teams are off. Everyone's set off. The groups are buzzing. And I wonder who's going to win. Who's going to get from the home nest to the hospital first? It's all a bit of fun. And for everyone in the step challenge teams, what I want you to know is if you can come out of the end of it, having done a few more steps and had a bit of fun, that's what it's all about. I always say, if you want to aim for something like, okay, how many steps should I do? When you do a challenge like this, aim for about 20% more than you'd normally do where possible. Some days, that's not going to be possible. And maybe you're already maxing out at the steps that you could possibly do anyway. And that's fine. But if you can, let's aim for 20% more than your usual. And just remember to stay in your own lane. There'll be some people who are getting absolutely loads, some people who aren't getting as many. So just focus on you and remember that you're working together as a team as well. So they're my top tips, and enjoy it. It's meant to be fun. So, I had an idea as well, gang. Please do check out the featured section of the Facebook group because I put my idea on there and I feel like it's going to be really, really useful for some people. So make sure you go check that out. So today we're going to be talking all about getting back into a routine. So what to do when you feel like you've lost your mojo, you're out of routine, and how can you actually get back into it and then also make it stick for the long term. We'll be talking about tips for snacks to have on the go. And we'll also be chatting a little bit about creaky joints and tight lower backs. So let's go straight into the first question, which is, I'm not sure what's wrong. I just feel like I need to get back into a routine. How can I do that? And how can I make it stick? So building a routine that is lasting and that actually sticks is mostly psychological. It's not actually like a physical thing. It's all about habit behavior. Now, the way that we can make it stick is we need to make that behavior become part of what you just do and something that's automatic, something that relies on consistency. That's what the science tells us. Obviously, we have to put it into context and be pragmatic about our own lives about it as well. But I think firstly, let's just acknowledge the fact that it's okay to fall out of a routine and we are human beings and we're not robots. And that is going to happen. And it is also going to happen that sometimes you won't feel motivated. You won't want to do a workout. And that's okay. Again, it makes you a human being. But then the difference comes when we don't feel motivated, we don't want to do it, but we do it anyway because it's important to us to stay fit, to stay healthy, to be strong in the long term. Doing hard stuff now makes your life easier in the long run. So sometimes we do it because we feel super motivated, we love it, we feel amazing. And sometimes we do it because actually it's just important. And they're both very valid reasons for working out and getting into a routine. So that's the first thing. Just acknowledge it. It's okay to feel like this sometimes. And if you've been out of routine for a really long time and you're thinking, yeah, okay, Lorna, but I actually haven't done anything, it's okay. Draw a line from this very moment right now and think about what you're going to do next. Don't think about what you have or you haven't done. It's not useful right now. Let's just think about where we are in this moment, drawing a line and moving on. The problem that happens is where people say, oh, I'm totally stuck. I'm not in the right, this is my worst excuse. Please never say this to me. I'm not in the right headspace to exercise right now. It's the worst excuse ever. If you're not feeling motivated, you're not feeling good in yourself, doing exercise is the only way to feel better and to feel motivated because action creates motivation. We can't wait for motivation just to come and drop onto our shoulder and, feel motivated today because it doesn't work like that. What happens is we get stuck into a routine of not doing it. And the longer you stay in that routine and the longer you stay in this so-called mindset, the harder it is to get out of it. So the best thing you can do is draw a line with wherever you're at in that process right now and think about how you're going to move on from here. So if you're out of routine right now, this is what you want to do. Firstly, start off small. Small wins are way better than big changes because people who actually start off with short, realistic goals are more likely to sustain them and build on them in the long run rather than people who do like overhauls. Like, right, next week, Monday, I'm going to do XYZ. I'm going to have salad for lunch. I'm going to have this for breakfast and I'm going to work out every day when they're coming from a place where they haven't been doing anything like that. It doesn't stick. You do it for like a week, 2 max, and then that's it. You need to take where you are right now and build on that. Just small changes that actually stick. So that's the first thing. Start small. For example, our bolt-on area is perfect. We've got workouts that are all under 10 minutes long and it's so worthwhile doing a 10-minute workout. And if you feel like you've got 10 minutes to give to yourself in a day, that's where we need to sit back and reevaluate. Well, what am I doing? If I haven't got 10 minutes to give back to my health in a day, I need to reevaluate my priorities. So this is, I know that sounds a bit harsh, but a little bit of tough love, sometimes what we need, right? And it's true. So make sure that you put some time aside for you. Decide what that is going to be to start off with. It might just be 3 bolt-on workouts a week to start off with, and that might be where you begin and you build up from there. Secondly, remove the barriers. You've got to make this easy for yourself. For example, lay your equipment out the night before. Lay your kit out the night before. Put your equipment somewhere where you're basically going to pretty much trip over it. You're going to see it. It's going to be there. As soon as you get up in the morning, put your kit straight on. Or as soon as you get back from work, if you prefer to work in the evening, put your kit straight on. Let it be the first thing that you do. Just make it easier for yourself. As soon as you've got your kit on, it's harder to say no to the workout. You're already in your workout gear. And don't get changed out of it until you've done your workout. Make things easy. Choose the workout that you're going to do. Plan your classes for the week ahead in your online journals so you already know what class you're going to do and when. So all you have to do is literally click on it. That's it. So that's all you need to do. Make it easy for yourself, and then all of a sudden it becomes an easier habit to stick to. A third tip, and this is something that I go by and that I always advise as well, is link it to your routine. So every day, Monday to Friday, you might get up, have a coffee, bite to eat maybe, and do a class. It's almost like get up, have a wash, have my breakfast, brush my teeth. It becomes part of your daily routine. And if you can make it part of your routine, like every day you work out at that time, it becomes so much easier to stick to because it's part of what you just do. And for you, that might not be first thing in the morning. It might be a lunchtime workout. That might be your lunch break. Say you're working from home, for example, or maybe you're not. Maybe you've got like a gym at work or one local that you can go to. You take your class there, put your headphones in. You know, maybe that's your time. Maybe that is your routine. Or maybe it's as soon as you get home from work. Or maybe it's once the kids are in bed at night. Whatever it is, stick to the same time. And I personally find it's easier to do Monday to Friday than it is to break the week up, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I just find that it's easier if I put it into Monday to Friday because then my weekdays are like pretty much the same routine-wise. And it's something that I do myself as well. I have a set time when I work out Monday to Friday. And then I usually do a workout at the weekend and then I have a rest day as well. But, you know, you've got to find out what works best for you. But you habit stack. That's what it's called. Habit stacking. And then what I would do as well is have like a bit of a reflection. You know, what do you actually want out of this? You know, why is working out important to you? Is it important to you so that you can run around with your kids or your niece or nephews or your grandkids and not be the person that has to be at the back getting out of breath? Is it because you want to be able to get up and down the stairs or go on any trips when you go on holiday and, you know, not have to worry about sitting on the bus and waiting behind? Is it so that actually you can feel toned and shapely and you feel confident in your body? You know, what is it for you? Why is it important? And then hold that close to you when you're feeling like this, when you feel like, "Ugh, I just don't want to do this routine." And remember that in order to get to those places, like your actual why, if you like, you need to be ticking off the boxes, and these are the boxes. And I would always say as well, and this is why we're always doing things like this at the squad, getting yourself on like a little challenge or a little boost. We all need that sometimes. So just getting involved, those are the best things that you can do. So if we just recap, one, acknowledge that you're a human being, it's okay. And what's important is what happens next. Start by making it small. Don't try and overhaul everything. Let's just build on what we're doing already. 3 is going to be habit stacking. And 4, I've kind of switched the order around here as well. 4, make it easy for yourself. Just make it really, really easy. Lower those barriers. And then you'll be able to stick to a routine in the long term. And one thing that I haven't said as well is, well, 2 things. If you're not planning your workouts on a Sunday already, then come on. We need to do that. Make sure you plan your classes like appointments and treat them like you are going to the hairdressers, you're going to the dentist. You wouldn't let them down. So why let yourself down? You need to be serious with your sessions. Plan your sessions. And then the other thing I would say is just celebrating the small wins. I know it sounds really cheesy, but the more you do that, even if it is just a case of you do a workout and you reflect on how you feel afterwards, like, okay, I didn't want to do that, but I actually feel really good for doing it. And I'm really proud of myself for showing up today because it's been a really hard week and I showed up for me. So do you know what? Well done me. Even if it's something so small as that, you start to train your brain to think in a different way. And you really start to associate exercise with something so positive. And for some reason, you'll keep wanting to go back to it. So the more you do that and the more you get into a habit of doing that, the easier it'll be to stick to a routine in the long run as well. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is any hints and tips for good snacks to have on the go? I'm so pleased you asked this question because November is a nutrition focused month at Lorna's Online Squad. So I am going to be giving you resources, and one of them is actually healthy snacking as well. So videos and resources throughout the month, all on nutrition, just something extra that we're just throwing in there, team. So make sure you look out for that one, but we're covering this as well. But anyway, the key here for a good snack to keep you going is to avoid any energy crashes. So we want something that's balanced. So we're thinking protein, fiber, healthy fats to keep us feeling sustained for longer, keeping our energy levels steady, etc. So some easy options, there's loads, there's so many, but some options would be Greek yogurt with some fruits in it, maybe some boiled eggs, or some people like to have like cooked chicken even, just literally some fruit. Having some fruit in your bag, or maybe pairing it with some peanut butter. You know how you can get like apple slices with peanut butter, some nuts, so a handful of nuts, baby bell cheese, oat cakes or rice cakes with hummus or cottage cheese. You could even make yourself some homemade little energy balls, or you could even have a protein bar. That's going to keep you feeling sustained for longer. It's going to give you an extra hit of protein, etc. So there's just a few ideas, or, crackers with hummus, but just try and get some sort of balance in there. So trying to think about, okay, can I get some protein in here? Can I get some sort of slow release energy in here? So for example, with the nuts, it's rich in healthy fats and fiber. So that's more of a slow release energy. When you're pairing something with Greek yogurt, it's really high in protein. It's more of a slow release energy. Same with like the boiled eggs or chicken strips, if you like that. And people at work will be telling you off for getting out your barbecue chicken strips. So whatever you fancy, but those are all just little ideas. Or there's even things like you can get the naked bars. I like getting naked bars. I think they're really tasty, but they're just made out of dried fruit and nuts. Dead easy just to pack in your bag. Same with a protein bar. Okay, it's a bit, it's processed at the end of the day, but it's higher in protein. It's going to give you a little protein hit. It's going to keep you feeling satiated for longer. At the moment, I'm having the Optimum Nutrition ones, and they're so tasty. And actually, the Warrior Protein Flapjacks, I'm eating those at the moment because they are on offer in Morrison's for £1. And they're actually really good. So just little ideas like that. I just take them in my bag with me and pair them with lunch or have them in the afternoon if I'm feeling a bit peckish. So there we go. Just think balance the best you can on that one. I hope there's some ideas that you can run with there anyway. My joints creak a lot. Is this normal? Yes, most of the time, joint creaks or cracks are completely normal, and they're not a sign of anything malicious. And they can happen for a few different reasons. So reason number one is for gas bubbles. So when you move, the pressure changes inside your joint capsule and causes little nitrogen bubbles in the synovial fluid, which is the fluid around your joints, to pop. So it creates like a popping or a cracking noise. So it can be gas bubbles. It can also be tendons or ligaments that are moving over the bone, and it can sound like a click, but it's harmless if it's not painful for you. Where we want to be cautious is if the creaking is painful, if it's really stiff, if you're getting any swelling in those areas, because that can be a sign of inflammation, it can be a sign of arthritis, soft tissue irritation, and that's probably when it's worth going to get an assessment and seeing a physio. So I'm not a physio myself. I can only give you, general advice on what it might be, but generally speaking, unless it's giving you any sort of sharp pain, any swelling, etc., it's not always a bad thing. And just keep moving, keep strength training, keep yourself very hydrated, just to support your joint health in general. And the last question is about tight lower backs. So my lower back is often tight or sore. Will these knots improve with strength training, or do they need separate treatment? Okay, so let's just talk about what a muscle knot actually is in the first place. So muscle knots are really small, hyperactive areas in the muscle that can develop from overload, weakness, or even a poor posture. And the things that really, really help with it are, yeah, absolutely, strength training. So that's going to strengthen the weak areas and help to reduce that recurring tension as well. And quite often it can be caused by imbalances in the body. So especially if you're doing like unilateral training, you can, so that would be where you're training one side and then training the other side. You can really work on those imbalances in your body. Secondly, we want to be doing some sort of release work here. And that would be things like, say, yoga escape, Pilates as well, just doing anything that will help release tension in that area, that mobility. And you can even do things like, although it is debated on the effectiveness of these things and whether they're more placebo or not, but things like foam rolling, massage, sports massage, etc. But as long as you're getting a combination of continuing with your strength training, but also doing some sort of stretch mobility alongside it, you can't go too far wrong. So keep strengthening your core, your glutes and your hips. That will help to fix the root cause, whatever that might be, whether it's a weakness or some sort of instability in that area. But keep focusing on those areas as well. And just make sure you're adding some sort of mobility and maybe some sort of massage, whether that be a foam roller or whether it be, I don't know, like using a tennis ball or something like that. So essentially, the strength training fixes the why, and the release work helps manage more of the now, to release all that tension for now. And I wouldn't say that any formal treatment is really necessary unless it's been going on for a while. If it's really persistent, if it's limiting your movement in any way, or you find that it's actually starting to radiate into other areas, then it will be worth going to see somebody about it as well. But hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea on the things that you want to be focusing on. Okay, team, I hope you enjoyed that today. I hope that was insightful. I hope it was useful. Do let me know. So if you're listening on the podcast, please leave a rating or a review, just so I know that it's been helpful. Or if you're watching on Facebook, etc., please do a little comment, and I will see you in class. Have a lovely, lovely day, everyone.